Hi, this is Steve Lentini, and I'm your host for Different Thinking for Different Times. This is Season 2, Episode 16. I want to start with a quote from Ernest Holmes out of his Science of Mind work. The spirit is not something apart from matter, but is something working through matter. The potential possibility of what we call the highest and the lowest is inherent in everything. They are not different things. They are the same thing functioning at different levels. So when I talk about small-minded thinking, limited thinking versus limitless, infinite possibility thinking, that's an example of both. They exist at the same time, and it's up to us to wake up enough to question our small-minded thinking. So any judgments, any reactions, anything that is not infinite possibility is small-minded, finite thinking. And we can see it clearly in so many different things in our lives, right? Someone gets promoted and we didn't. And we blame it on the boss, or we blame it on the person ahead of us. They were backstabbing us. And the limitless possibility thinking would be maybe it's time for a new job or a creative endeavor, is to think about it in terms of this is a good sign. It's time to move on, or I'm going to stick it out and show people what I can do. And the limited thinking drags people into being angry and reactive, and then they wonder why they don't get what they want more of, right? They want more, meaning they want to be recognized for a promotion, but becoming withdrawn and angry, everyone sees it. And it's limited thinking, and then they either get fired or they languish in a job they should have left, and they just sit and stew in the anger, and that's the limited, right? Whenever we're stewing in something that's anger, we're limited versus limitless. And so that's the challenge, is to start to recognize where we react, and no one's exempt from it. Even doing all this work that I've been doing, and it's been over 25 years, I still notice and have a chuckle over where my small-minded acorn brain wants to enroll me in some limited, finite thinking. So our challenge is in this life, and that's the gift of the cause and the effect, is that life is giving us the feedback, right? The sun does not cease. The effect always follows the cause. Everything is vibration. So when I talk about limited, small-minded thinking versus limitless, infinite thinking, infinite possibility thinking, you're operating at a different vibration when you choose the limitless, positive, infinite thinking, right? And the finite thinking, how do you know you're in finite thinking? Finite, small-minded, acorn brain, limited thinking is a tightness about it. There's an anger or a bitterness or a jealousy. There's an emotion that we carry around that does not allow the expression of the infinite, the universe, to come through us, right? If matter is always expressing through us, it's expressing depending on what direction we choose. And if we're frustrated and angry or jealous or bitter, we are like a block to that flow, that all we had to do is change our mind, and a whole different effect, a whole different cause. Your changing of mind would be a new cause, and you'd see a new effect. So that's the invitation to waking up, to noticing where you have small-minded acorn brain thinking, whether it's about race or sexual preferences or your boss or your partner or politics. It doesn't matter, right? Government. It doesn't matter. Wherever we get angry and bitter and withholding and feeling tight, we're in that small-minded, judgmental thinking, and there's no way for the limitless to express itself until we let those feelings go. It will come when we let it go. It's like blocking electricity. You wouldn't put a fork in an electrical outlet to see if it's still there. Well, you're putting a fork in the universal flow when you react with small-minded, finite thinking. So begin to notice and recognize where you have those small-minded reactions. Listen to where you tell a story to others about how and why your life isn't working somewhere, whether it's in a relationship or a job or about current conditions we're in or government or politics. When you're small-minded, let's say you're accusing one party of being small-minded, you're being small-minded. Yeah, that's what's the interesting thing about it, is that wherever we have that tightness and that small-minded, limited thinking, we want everyone to think our way, you're being reflected, the effect of other people upsetting you is reflecting where you are limited and small-minded, because you're not allowing people to have a different opinion and be willing to negotiate or compromise or surrender to whatever the majority wants, right? That's how this country works, for example. And it happens everywhere, right? It happens in relationship, it happens at work, it happens in everything that we do. We have a choice. It can be small-minded, finite, limited thinking, or you can expand into the infinite, limitless possibility thinking. And that's up to you. Whether you're a victim of circumstance or a master of circumstances are choices. And if you wake up and start to notice where you react and how you react, you breathe and relax and let it go. You can't control others. You can only control you. If you have any questions, steve@stevelentini.com, steve@stevelentini.com. If you'd like me to have a dialogue with you on the podcast, I'm glad to. We can arrange that. Again, steve@stevelentini.com. And this is Different Thinking for Different Times. Thank you.